Welcome to Lottery Nigeria. My name is Aaron John Opizo. But if you're just joining for the first time, you're very welcome. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on post notification. If you're a returning subscriber, Twali, welcome back. So in this episode, we're talking about erroneous transfer, how to recover erroneous transfer. You agree with me that everywhere around us in Nigeria, particularly, the real gist right now every day is, hey, I mistakenly transferred money to this person. Hey, I didn't know. I transferred to this person. I didn't even know how will I get my money back. The issue of erroneous transfer is everywhere, and every day as a lawyer, you keep getting calls. Lawyer, I transferred 500,000 mistakenly, 1 million. I ask the question. Una talk saying I don't get money, but everybody is making mistakes transferring money. Well, that's on the lighter note. So now this episode we're talking about how to recover erroneous transfers. Now, when you talk about erroneous transfer, you're talking about the transfer of money from one account to another on a mistaken belief that that was the intended account. Then subsequently you discover that, oh my God, I made a mistake. I was supposed to transfer the money to Wale, but I ended up transferring it to Okeki. Possibly, it could be as a result of so many things. Network issue, the name didn't come out, and you just assume, okay, that's the correct name. Or you missed a number, you were so distracted that you just like, oh, send. Most times, or you can find out that maybe the names are similar. You have two beneficiaries being almost the same name, and you just tap the first one, not knowing it was supposed to be the second one. So these are instances of scenarios that can actually lead to an erroneous transfer. Now, most times you see people go to the bank and it looks like the travail or the sorrows from erroneous transfer is unending. People are always like lost at what to do, and most times you get to the bank, some banks try to help you to understand how to go about it. Most other banks just tell you go and get court order. So how do you recover erroneous transfer? Now the first thing you need to do once there's an erroneous transfer and you notice there's an erroneous transfer is to first of all make sure, if you have not download the receipt for such transaction. Download the receipt or you screenshot it so that you can have proof. That's the very first thing. Make sure you have the receipt so that if you're going to the bank to explain, you can be able to explain with tangible proof that yes, this happened. Now, once you're sure that you have the receipts handy, the next thing is quickly rush to your bank. Yes, I repeat, quickly rush to your bank. The idea is most times if you come to the bank, if you go to the other bank who have received the money to say, oh, I transfer money to one of your customers, they may pay attention to you or they'll just tell you go and get court order. But the first thing you do is go to your bank and complain, because when there's a formal correspondent from your bank to their bank, it could be like, okay, colleague SPD they call. They have a better understanding that when you come in and explain that you're on your own at first instance. So first is go to your bank to lodge the complaint. The idea is for your bank to be able to send a correspondence or a notice to the recipient bank that, oh, one of our customers said this regarding this particular account, that you erroneously transferred money from this account to this other account. Now, so there's a formal bank correspondence. That way, the other recipient bank has received possibly a formal mail or however correspondence they send. Yes, and okay, this is a correspondence coming from maybe from UBA Bank to First Bank. Oh, First Bank will be like, oh, we received a correspondence from UBA Bank saying that, oh, one of their customers erroneously transferred to so and so account. The bank know how to do it. The recipient bank know how to do it. They may either have a way of restricting the account so that, yes, money doesn't go out from it immediately. Now, so the first thing is go to your bank and lodge a complaint. Go and lodge a complaint in your bank. Then the next thing is you go to the recipient bank. Now, for example, I'm using UBA Bank. I transfer the money erroneously to Standard Chartered or possibly Diamond Bank or possibly First Bank or Polaris. After going to complain in my bank first, the next thing is to rush to the other bank, recipient bank, to complain that, oh, I mistakenly sent this money to your customer. Possibly by then the correspondence from your bank has gotten to your bank, or even if it has not gotten, you get there and you tell them. The idea is for them to possibly help in the way they can help. Most times they always tell you to get court order, but you can appeal possibly to the manager or someone. The idea is if they can find a way to reach out to the customer who received the money, the banks know how to do it. Most times they can be able to like, oh, let's place a call. Or okay, so hello. If you're lucky, the person could pick, oh, so and so customer said they recently transferred the money. Did you receive the money? Some God-fearing persons, they can be like, oh, I received the money. They can find a way to lobby to beg for the money to get back. This is first instance. We're just doing the first instance before we now do the court order thing. So after rushing to your bank to complain, rush to the recipient bank to make a complaint and appeal to see if there's any way they can contact the customer on your behalf so as to appeal for the money to be sent back. Most times, you may be unlucky or you may be lucky. You may be lucky if the person picks and, oh, yes, okay, agrees to send back the money. Sometimes some may agree to send, but you have to furnish some consideration for them to send. You must at least, I always see must what? Must chop. In other circumstances, you may find out that the account is possibly a dormant account that nobody has been using for a long time. They've just been there. Nobody's operating and no one has entered it. Or in certain cases, you may find out that the other guy is not willing to release the money. So that's why first thing is go to your bank and complain so that your bank can have a formal communication with the other recipient bank and see if there's a way they can place some restrictions on the funds going out immediately. Then you go to the recipient bank and complain. Then after doing this, after you've rushed to the bank, possibly within a space of 1 hour, 2 hours, you rush to the banks to complain all these things if it is something within the daytime. Now, after you've made the complaint, the next thing is please reach out to a lawyer. Now, the idea is for the lawyer to write a formal notice to the banks. You can write to your bank, copying the recipient bank. You can write to your bank requesting that, yes, your bank take necessary steps to help notify the other bank. I'm going to tell you why I'm requesting that you get a lawyer to write to your bank. Sometimes some persons do not go, they just like after going to your bank to complain, the next thing the lawyer goes straight and files a court application for court order and the rest of all that. However, most times in court, there are instances have appeared in the court and you see magistrates asking, okay, why didn't you send? Why is it that there's no notice? What was the other step apart from going orally? What was the other step? There's no letter before me to show that before you even came to seek this application, you've gone to the bank to try your own bits to see if you can recover the money. So most times the court is always minded to ask that question: what was the effort you took before coming to take the before you came to apply for court order? So most times you brief a lawyer to write to the banks formally, possibly requesting that, oh, okay, so and so person, your customer has made an erroneous transfer. We appeal that you do everything within your power to notify the other bank and see if possibly reversal can be achieved. You write to the person, possibly your bank. The lawyer writes to your bank and copies the recipient bank. That way, there's a formal correspondence. So that when you eventually go to court for an application, or for when you go to the court for to apply for an order of reversal, there are facts or there's a document to show that indeed you had made efforts before coming to the court to seek the order for reversal. Yes. Now, this helps clog the court because most times you find out, like I said, you could be lucky. You send a formal correspondence or you give a formal notice to the bank tries their own, and the person on the other end, the customer is receptive to the calls and makes effort to do what? To return it back. At least that saves you the stress of rushing to the bank for court order and all that. Now, in the instance where the first attempt to try to resolve it on your own and writing fails, possibly the notices to the banks and the letters to the bank don't yield any result, the next thing will be to go to the court. The next thing is your lawyer will need to actually file actually institute an action for reversal of funds. Now, let me put this clear. Most times you get to when the whole thing don't stop and the banks cannot do anything, they can't reach the person that received the money, they tell you to go and get a court order. The problem I have most times is the bank don't do their own part of trying to educate or explain to these customers what the actual court order entails. They just tell you, okay, go and meet a lawyer and get court order. Now, the customer who possibly does not understand, possibly a big businessman at Ochanja Market who don't understand what's up, how it goes, will just call you, lawyer, hey, I want to get court order. How much? Most times, I think there should be a proper education on the part of the bank for them to be able to tell their customers, oh, go to the bank, get a lawyer to apply to the court to get a court order. Not just telling them, go and get court order. And they'll just come, lawyer, I want to get court order. And when you start explaining to them or talking to them, they think you're actually lying to them. So let me put this straight. When you talk about a court order, it's not as if there's any order waiting in the court that they sell and they call it court order. The way you can go to the market and buy Fanta or Coke or buns or chin chin or biscuits. No. When you're talking about court order, you have to engage a lawyer, brief a lawyer properly. The lawyer will now institute an action. It's more like you're suing the bank that received the money, and the customer in whose account the money entered. You see why I said at the beginning, make sure you have proof. You have that receipt that you send the money. Now, in the course of all these things happening, you would also apply to your bank to get your bank statement showing that money left your account to that particular account. This will help you now in getting the court order. So when you talk about court order, it's not as if there's any shop in the court where they used to sell court order or the judge is selling court order. No. You have to brief a lawyer for your lawyer to actually institute an action for reversal of for recovery of erroneous transfer. That is for the court to grant an order reversing the funds. Now, what would it entail? Your lawyer will need to file an action. Like I said, it's you suing the bank and the recipient bank and the recipient account. You sue the person. You will serve them the process. You will come to the court. All the way the matter used to go, civil matter used to go, that's the way your matter will also go. So you will be patient. That is why you look at the amount. Most times you have to look at the amount. Now, when people look at the amount, hey, how much do I say? Erroneous transfer 50,000. When you start briefing them and telling them how it will take, what it will take to get a cut order, they just tell you, I can't do it. But the truth is, if you really want to get that court order, you have to spend the money. You have to engage the lawyer. You will need to file the necessary process. They will have to serve. All the things that will happen in a civil suit will happen. Now, after the court has heard the application, now the application will come with an affidavit stating how it happened. How did you send the money? Oh, I wanted to send OKK 5,000. I mistakenly, erroneously thinking it was this OKK Johnson instead of OKK Michael. I sent to OKK Johnson, not knowing as OKK Michael I'm supposed to send to. That means you explain that to your affidavit. You attach the proof. Now the proof is what? The receipt, your statement of account showing that the money left your account. And now, you see where the letters that you've written to the bank will now come to convince the court that indeed you have taken steps to actually recover this money on your own. And it didn't work. Some people go as far as filing obtaining a police report. Sure, that is okay. That is fine. It's part of your evidence to show that yes, the money left your account. Now, once the court is satisfied and has heard the application, and possibly the other parties, that's the bank you sued and the other recipient account have not filed any counter affidavit to challenge the claim, because there are instances where you can file and the person will come and say, "Oga, no, this money is not a erroneous transfer. We had business and he paid me for the business, so he's only trying to get the money back." There are instances like that. But once you don't have anything challenging it, the money is there and there's nothing challenging it, what happens? The court will go ahead to make it to give its judgment. Now, because of that judgment, the court will make an order for reversal. So that is the court order the bank is asking you to go and get. So this is the process, how to recover your erroneously transferred monies. So before the court order, you try to take your own step and see if it will work. Make a complaint to your bank. No panic. Most times, yes, we understand the intention to panic and the money, yes. We know Nigerians, some of us are very fantastic people. The moment we see money like that, we remove it. But let me now tell you the consequence of removing a money that was erroneously transferred to your account. You that want to do it. Hey, look at me. Yes, you that they transfer money to your account, you want to remove it. If you remove that account, so far it is not your own and you're not entitled to it, at that point, it is a crime. You have stolen. You are liable and culpable for the offense of stealing. So once you take something that doesn't belong with you, to you, with the intention of depriving the owner of it permanently, see, okay, that is stealing. So if erroneous transfer, if erroneous money you don't know about coming to your account, what do? Go to the bank and report, and so that they will be to be on notice that you made efforts to actually complain to the bank, and you don't touch the money. Yes, you don't touch it. It is not your money. So yes, so that is why most times once there's a erroneous, people panic. But no need to panic. The first thing is, like I said, rush to your bank, make a formal complaint so your bank can notify the recipient bank. Go to the recipient bank, make a complaint and appeal to see if they can actually contact the customer. The thing is, a bank will not give you the particulars of that customer to call. The reason is a bank has a fiduciary duty, a responsibility to the other customers to protect his accounts and his details. So that is why you need a court order. Yes. So the reason why you need a court order most times when the other party is not receptive to returning the money, or the account is dormant and you can't reach the owner, is because once you become a customer of a bank, there's a contract that begins to exist, which is the banker-customer relationship or the banker-customer contract. Now, there are certain fiduciary duties, there are responsibilities on the part of the bank to the customer, which amongst other things include the duty to protect information of the customer, the duty to protect all monies in their account. There are plenty duties. Now, owing to these duties, some these fiduciary duties, the bank cannot just divulge any information to you. Cannot just touch the bank doesn't have the right to tamper or to act on the monies of the customer without the express consent of the customer. So we see that once the customer is unwilling to return the money or the customer cannot be reached, you have to go for a court order. Now, the effect of the court order is there are exceptions to when the bank can act on the money, like when there is a court order directing the bank to act with the money on the money in a particular way. So that is why you have to get court order. I think you understand that now. So when they say you go and get caught up, don't panic, just relax, brief a lawyer properly. And trust me, your money will be recovered one way or the other. So I hope on this episode you've basically been able to understand what it takes and how you need to go about it when you make an erroneous transfer. There's no need to panic. Just take the right step, seek a lawyer's advice, seek a lawyer's direction, and you get your money back. My name is John Obizoba. Don't forget this is Lord Tori Niger. Stay tuned for more episodes which will be very much inciting and educating. Until we see you on the next episode, stay blessed and stay good.